I think we should just go play some basketball right now. What about that? That's what's up. Seriously. First of all, there's a lot of things I want to say. I will keep it brief. I will be concise. I want to capture your attention. I know you're eating. It's always a tough crowd after you get some food in you. You want to relax a little bit. But there's some things I want to share with you guys. And I'll start off by saying you're going to hear me say some of the things you've probably heard from home, school, on your teams today. And as coaches, we think about repetition is a beautiful thing. You know, if you're repeatedly doing the right things, you're going to set yourself up to do something really special. But I have to start this off by saying how grateful I am to be here. And I need to truly have you understand why it's important for me. First of all, thank you to Pacer Sports Entertainment, The Fever, Bobby and her team that put this together. And I say that because it's unlike anything ever. You get to see, touch, and feel what it's really like to be a part of something special. And you can leave here knowing the different possibilities that maybe you didn't think existed. But I'll go back to why it's important for me. Title IX, I know you're an educated group of girls. I know we've spoken about it. I feel like I needed to be here today because I'm a Title IX baby. And I say that because Title IX is 1972. I was born in 69. Okay, so my life got to parallel Title IX. Okay, I got to see some of the amazing things that changed for girls in sports and opportunities. And I'll give you just a couple of examples so I can get to the meat and potatoes of what I really want to say. When I was 8 years old, there was not a girls' basketball team, so you played with the boys. So then when I was 10 years old, there's a girls' team, okay, Title IX. In high school, we had to practice in the girls' gym. Now, I use gym lightly. It was a box. It had tile floors. It was really for volleyball, but that's what we were relegated to. Now, by my senior year, I graduated from high school in 1987, the date when National Girls in Sports and Women's was implemented, okay? So that year, I can remember we were able to practice in the main gym, okay? So that's the parallel. I go to college. I'm able to get a scholarship. I attend LSU. When I started as a freshman, we would have to ride the bus. The boys would fly. And then we got to fly on a commercial airplane. And then 2 years later, we're taking charter flights. So that's the importance of me being here today. You guys have right now in my job, in my profession, it's an amazing time for us. It's free agency. We're trying to sign players. We're scouting. But nothing was going to keep me from being here today with you guys. Now, we're not satisfied, obviously. The girl power still needs to rock. And part of, this clinic and this symposium today, this is my goal with this event, that someone gets educated about some of the things that I'm talking about, that you see, that you hear, that you get inspired, that you're empowered, and that you can reach someone who didn't have the fortune and opportunity to be here, so you can feel how special some of these things are that's going to take place. My second goal is this. You guys hear this sometimes with the boys. They say, oh, you do it like a girl. Have you heard that one before? Huh? This is my goal. When doing it like a girl is the preferred path to success. And it won't matter, because here's why. No one can talk about not having opportunities, some of the character that you're going to build in creating opportunities for yourself. So those are some of the goals, the big picture for me related to this. I'm going to shrink this down for you so you can understand about teams and the journey. Okay, my journey started when I was 8 years old, okay, long time ago in terms of basketball. From a player, bitty basketball, AAU basketball, high school, college, USA basketball. I coached at LSU. I coached in Europe. And now I'm in the WNBA. And I start there to say this. The first team that I was on, and you can't take this one for granted, was my family. And family may not be traditional mom, dad, it may be grandparent, maybe an older sibling, but you know who the head coach in the household is, right? Right? You know that. So you get a taste of that, and don't take that for granted, okay? I was fortunate enough to where my mother was my rock. She worked 3 jobs. My sister was the one who got me to practice all the time and sacrifice so much. So that's the first team. The second team is the educational team, and you guys are here with a group of people right now. Who's the head coach? The teachers, the administrators, the principals. And I will tell you this, teachers don't teach to get rich and retire. They're passionate. They understand what it takes to move the world, change the world, and make you guys into awesome individuals. So I'm going to tell you, take advantage of them. I was fortunate enough to have some great teachers early on, and I wore them out. I was raising my hand. I had questions. I sat with them at lunch. I figured that part out. So that's team number 2. Then you get to the sports team. This is where you're ahead of everyone, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. When I have resumes or when I have players that want to go and get jobs, it could be at Fortune 500 companies. They want to talk to me about the players because they understand that being a part of the team, you understand sacrifice, commitment, discipline, leadership, setbacks like Shanice mentioned. So you have a little extra something in your tank that you have no idea will resonate in the rest of the world. So I'm pointing that out to you because oftentimes when I'm trying to hire people, I'm looking at someone that played on a sports team because they understand all the, and then we have this innate, we want to get better. You know, we want to be challenged, and it's really good and it's inspiring. So understand that. And what those teams lead to, look, there are challenges that you guys are going to face. There's some outside influences. We all have them. But when the family, the education piece, the team piece, it'll neutralize some of the negativity. And I won't go into that because I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you know right from wrong. I'll give you one little example of something. I can remember, oh gosh, I'm going to really tell my age again. I hope you guys don't do this now, but when I was younger, we had like senior skip day. I hope you guys don't do that, okay? Okay, so I hope not, but I'm going to make this point to you. I can remember it was senior skip day, and people wanted to skip school because it was cool. Some people wanted to do things they weren't supposed to do, like drink, that type thing. And I had a strong enough foundation to know it wasn't right, but I did skip. I didn't drink, but my solution was, well, I'll drive them to make sure they're okay. Now, when I look back, I wish I was strong enough to talk them out of why that wasn't okay. So I don't stand before you like I'm this perfect person, didn't make mistakes. I'm just giving you viable examples as you navigate life and that peer pressure. You know, I talked about my path a little bit, and because of the opportunities that I had, 27 years later as a coach, I get to stand in front of you. I've had the opportunity to coach some of the best players in the world. You know Diana Taurasi? Coached her. You need to know all of my players here. But I'm thinking of those big names. You know, Lauren Jackson, who's an Australian, Simone Augustus, Candice Dupree. I got to coach all these people abroad, okay? I got to visit 20-plus countries, okay? I was afforded an opportunity to learn a new language. You know, I was going to start talking to you guys and say, Pasle udna dame kagdila. But you would have looked at me like, what the heck is she talking about? But that's Russian, okay? And I don't say that to be impressive. I say that because when I went to a foreign country to coach a foreign team, they give you a house, they give you a car, they give you a translator, they give you a driver. And I said to myself, I don't want a translator. I want to learn this language. And my point to that was, Shanice mentioned this to you guys, maybe it was Tully. I was confident enough to be comfortable with being uncomfortable because I could see the path. And I cannot tell you how well that served me because when I coached in Europe, that same team, we won 3 titles. And the fact that I tried to learn their language, those Russians wanted to run through the wall for me. You know, little bitty things. There are no little things. I can remember saying, Zavtra, trenirovke, 10. Tomorrow, practice 10 o'clock. And from that point on, it created a bond, and they felt like I was one of them. Now, it was uncomfortable for me because I would call my driver and thinking I was telling him to take me to the store, and he took me somewhere else. But the point is, you know, being uncomfortable to see the big picture of those things. And I'll come full circle. So I get to stand in front of you today on a special day, a special week. And I know Kelly Kroskoff, our president, spoke to you guys this morning. Now, I want you to think about this. I'm, you know, 49-year-old little girl from a town that only has 1,000 people is not even on the map. I get to be the general manager and the head coach of a storied organization. I get to work for a female president who led it to a championship, who is now leading the cause on something on the boys' side, the NBA side. And I need you to understand, you're just like me. Sometimes speakers get in front of you and you guys think we had something special. We didn't, okay? We had a foundation, we had opportunities, we used people, and we were ready for it, like Shanice talked about being prepared for setbacks. So remember all those things, and remember that, you know, I'm just like you guys. A couple of things, and I'm gonna shut it down and open it up for question. You know, I can tell groups that play sports, we're a little bit ahead of the game, so I'm not gonna give you information that you obviously already know, but I like to give you a couple of extra little keys to things that I've learned over the years. One, get a mentor. You know, if there's someone around, I think a mentor is key. I encourage you guys to read. You know, we stopped reading. I encourage you to journal, write, and take notes because, you know, there's this thing they said, whatever gets written down or whatever gets scheduled, it gets done. It's about a 50% chance of getting it done. And I want to share that because that's something that really helped me along the way. Another thing is we always talk about you got to grind, you got to study, you got to work hard. Yes, yes, and yes. But there's also a little bit of balance. You got to take care of yourself, and that means finding your hobby. If that's going to church, if that's playing your instrument, if that's just being with friends, a little bit of balance there as well. The other thing is be present. I know in this day and age, these telephones, Madonna mia, it's tough. But be present, maximize the moment, enjoy it, and engage. Another thing, Tully said, have some fun. I am not trying to work my butt off to not enjoy it, okay? It's okay. Have some fun. And then the last thing for me, any of you guys know Bruce Lee? You ever seen karate movies? Bruce Lee? You know, there's this saying, to know is not enough, you must do. We know, we hear, we see, take the next step and get it done. To know it's not enough, you must do. Last thing, 3 challenges when you leave here, and I hope you remember them. The first challenge is to connect with someone you met today, be it another individual or someone you spoke to on a panel, and reach out to them and try to take that next step. The second one is to communicate something you learned today with another female that didn't have the opportunity to be here. Share some of that. Reach one, teach one. And the third challenge is I need you to come to a Fever game, because here's why. You get to see all of this come together, and you get to see what's possible. I know that's a lot. I know it's been a long day for you guys, but I'm forever grateful for the opportunities I had to be here to speak to you. And if you guys have any questions about anything, feel free to reach out to me right now or even through your teachers and administrators, and we'll do our best to help. Thank you so much.